Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro met on Monday with the 5 generations of the Bolivarian Revolution at the Miraflores Palace. In Argentina, President Javier Milei vetoed the pension mobility law after it was approved by the country's Senate. And Russian President Vladimir Putin paid an official visit to Mongolia to take part in the ceremonial events dedicated to the 85th anniversary of the joint victory of the Soviet and Mongolian armed forces. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll begin with the news. Stay with us. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro met this Monday with the 5th generation of the Bolivarian Revolution at the Miraflores Palace. The meeting was held in the context of what was called the Generations Day, a space to debate ideas, focus on the task on the Bolivarian Revolution for the future, and to discuss the challenges for the materialization of the plan of the homeland for the so-called 7 transformations. During the meeting, Maduro highlighted the potential of Chavez's ideas for social unity, both within the revolutionary process and the South American country, and proudly declared that he is the first Chavista president and that he expects to hand over power to a Chavista and a Bolivarian president.
Chavez vaccinated us with the best vaccine against betrayal, with the best vaccine of loyalty, the Bolivarianism of the 21st century, and we have always been asked, what is Chavismo? And I was saying it now in the pilgrimage, Chavismo is the original Bolivarianism with a project of the 21st century or for the 21st century. And I used to tell people that if that interpretation was very intellectual, Chavismo is the greatest love that a people can feel for its history and for its right to the future, that is Chavismo.
The Venezuelan president emphasized that Chavismo is at its best with conscientious peoples immune to betrayal.
We are already vaccinated with pure Bolivarianism, and we have several booster vaccines against destructive and divisive viruses that has made Chavismo an unassailable and indestructible force. Because Chavismo at this moment in history can say it is vaccinated against treason, against divisionism, and is an unassailable fortress of a conscious people.
Also this Monday, the Public Ministry of Venezuela issued an arrest warrant for former presidential candidate Edmundo González Urrutia. The arrest warrant specifies the alleged commission of crimes of usurpation of functions punishable under Article 213. Forgery of public documents provided for an punishable order under Article 319. Instigation to disobey the law punishable under Article 283. Conspiracy provided for punished by Article 132 of the Penal Code. Sabotage of system damage punished by Article 7 of the Computer Crimes. Association provided for and punished by Article 37 of the Organic Law against organized crimes and financing of terrorism. In an official communique issue also this Monday, Venezuela accused the government of the United States of illegally confiscating an aircraft used by President Nicolás Maduro. In the document, the South American nation said that the action was a repeat criminal practice that cannot be qualified as anything other than piracy, have illegally confiscated an aircraft that has been used by the President of the Republic. The text also signaled that these actions reveals that no state and no constitutional government is safe from illegal actions that disregard international law. It also added that the United States has already demonstrated that it is used its economic and military might to intimidate and put pressure on states such as the Dominican Republic to serve as accomplices in these crime actions. He continues by saying that this is an example of the so-called rules-based order, which disregarding international law seeks to establish the law of the strongest, create rules that suit its interests, and enforce them with total impunity. Finally, the document affirmed the Bolívar Republic of Venezuela reserves the right to take any legal actions to repair this damage to the nation, as well as all other damages caused by the criminal policy of unilateral coercive measures, and finished by sentencing that Venezuela respects itself and continues to firmly defend its dignity and sovereignty. In Argentina, President Javier Milei vetoed on Monday the pension mobility law after it was approved by the country's Senate. Despite lawmakers, social and political organizations regard disagreement, Milei justified his decision by pointing out that the initiative does not contemplate the fiscal impact of the measure, nor does it determine the source of its financing. After the veto, the law must return to Congress, where both chambers must reach a two-thirds majority in order to reject the president's decision and force the executive to approve the bill. Let's take a very short break, but remember you can now join us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. The Peruvian government enacted on Friday a law favoring perpetrators of crimes against humanity. Currently, relatives of victims feel outrage while international organizations rejected. Around 600 cases involving 550 victims are being dismissed, including former President Alberto Fujimori. Therefore, the United Nations, along with the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, strongly oppose to the regulation.
We've been looking for justice for 33 years, and I don't think we're going to get it because they always favor the murderers. They are the ones benefiting. We feel that these struggles of the relatives, not only of the historical cases, if you like, from 1980 to 2000, but also of the most recent cases of human rights violations, are increasingly being defended only by the family or the lawyers. There is no social support that, in some way, denounces what we are experiencing here and the damage that impunity means for our democratic society.
What the law aims to do is to archive any type of investigation or judicial process, and even annul any convictions that have been made as a result of the classification of the cases as crimes against humanity.
Moving on, the United Nations announced that Israel has destroyed 70% of schools in Gaza run by the Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East. This way, the UN authorities confirmed that in this context of the Israeli outlawed, most of the schools has been reports to care for the thousands of Palestinian refugees displaced by the conflict. The UN added that more than 600,000 children are missing school due to the destruction caused by the bombing, as authorities warned that these actions fuel resentments and extremism in the region. In this context, the agency reiterated its call for a ceasefire to prevent minors from suffering abuse and exploitation, as well as to avoid their recruitment into armed groups.
We live in terror and fear for the children, in addition to the fact that we have infants in the building who have no milk or diapers, no bread, no food for the rest of the residents. No one dares to go out because there is a sniper in the Rayan building who shoots at anything he sees. I went out at a risk. I walked close to the wall so that the sniper would not see me in order to get here. in order to bring bread and water to drink.
Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch our interviews, top stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and active the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. One final short break, don't go away. Welcome back. Russian President Vladimir Putin paid an official visit to Mongolia to take part in ceremonial events dedicated to the 85th anniversary of the joint victory of the Soviet and Mongolian armed forces. The heads of state of both countries will meet to discuss views on current international and regional problems, as well as the development of the Russo-Mongolian Union and comprehensive strategic partnership relations. The spokesman of the Russian government also stated that President Putin will be in Ulaanbaatar to participate in the plenary session of the Eastern Economic Forum. Russian authorities denounced on Monday a Ukrainian shelling on civilian targets in the province of Belgorod, killing 5 civilians and wounded 46, including 7 minors. According to the governor of the province, Vyacheslav Gladkov, the shell hit a nursery school, being the third incident when Ukrainian shellings affect directly educational centers in the province. As a precautionary measure, Gladkov announced that the temporary closure of schools and nursery schools in the area, implementing distant classes. The act was condemned by the Russian government, which described it as a premeditated act of terrorism. The president of China, Xi Jinping, met on Monday with the counterparts from Guinea, Eritrea, and Seychelles to strengthen their bilateral relations within the framework of the summit of the Forum of China-Africa's Cooperation 2024. During the meeting, the African parties reaffirmed their friendly relations with the Chinese state, as well as the strengthening of cooperation in the areas of health, energy, and agriculture. On his part, the Asian leader reiterated China's commitment to support the social and economic development of the parties, while underlining the importance of strengthening mutual political trust and collaborating in initiatives such as the International Forum. The 9th edition of the FOCAG will be held from September the 4th to the 6th in China.
Over the past 11 years, Chinese enterprises have participated in the construction and renovation of more than 10,000 kilometers of railways, nearly 100,000 kilometers of highways, nearly 1,000 bridges, about 100 ports, 66,000 kilometers of power transmission and transformation lines, and 150,000 kilometers of backbone communication networks in various African countries. In terms of railways, projects such as the Kenya-Mombasa-Nairobi Railway, Ethiopia-Djibouti Railway, and Nigeria-Lagos-Ibadan Railway constructed by Chinese enterprises have effectively helped Africa form a railway backbone network. During the upcoming FOCAC Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit, China will also sign a number of new cooperation plans with some African countries to join.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For teleSUR English from the South, I'm Marrero. Thank you for watching.